Okay. Okay. So this one's by the island, like the island was. I swear, they were like popular before they made that like one that freestyle, um, but before they made the freestyle, they were like popular, but they just blew up when I came out. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it blew up after it, and then almost just
Normally
as
I
if they
wouldn't
never
reply to a comment like this.
almost turned into as if they were never a thing. Like blew up, and now like nobody speaks of them since.
I don't understand why you're being so hateful towards me.
The Island Boys have been receiving fewer and fewer likes on TikTok every single month since they blew up. 10 million, then 9 million, going to 7 million, before a pretty sharp drop to less than 3 million last month. The Google trend graph tells a similar story. People have slowly been losing interest in these two rappers who have made respectable physical sacrifices for their career in entertainment. However, while we're not here to hate on the Island Boys, we will make the argument that they were destined to fail from the very beginning. And the first reason is because they never had a decent skill set or product to begin with.
And another thing, they both move like they're gangsters, right? Don't they? I swear they both claim that they're like Bloods, and then like, and they move like they're always on a fighting thing. But didn't they get like caught lacking by real Bloods, and they were like dashing into a shop or like hiding in the car or something? Like, they portray a character. It's not really them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
They first blew up 6 months ago in October 2021 for their infamous I'm an Island Boy rap. It wasn't because people were impressed by their ability to sing. In fact, it was the complete opposite. The video went viral because of how terrible the song was.
Because I'm an island boy, I've been trying to make it. Oh, I'm an island boy. Hey, I'm an island boy. I'm just an island boy. I'm on a Key West grind. You're gonna keep that gun. I just staring at the sun. Now, because I'm fuel gazing, I'm like the pool where I'm staying. They like, you wanna be famous. I'm trying to make it all, be the all-time greatest. I'm a look Florida boy and get real dumb topic. And get
the Island Boys were instantly judged as two talentless bozos who would.
Bro, he had big ass feet.
Because of how terrible the song was. The Island Boys were instantly judged.
That shoe is massive. That is bigger than Shaquille O'Neal's shoe. Oh my, imagine getting kicked with that. You are concussion.
Talentless bozos who had covered themselves in tattoos, and as a result, people began to follow them for their stupidity as opposed to their talent.
And I think they're entertaining, and I follow them because they're entertaining. Yeah. I love to see the stupid shit that they say.
They were mocked brutally in some of the funniest TikTok.
What timing? What timing? My thing's out of charge. I lied, it's not out of charge.
Ever posted to the platform, whilst being used as a representation for how easy it was to get famous on the internet in 2000.
But there was I'm sorry, there was way too many parodies of it. I swear to God, when I never used TikTok, but whenever I was using it, I scroll, see a random video, then I scroll again, get a parody. Scroll an ad, scroll a parody. Scroll a video, scroll a parody. It was so annoying.
And 21.
Let's be real. How long before the Dust Bunny twins over here get a record deal, sponsors, and tours? Oh, you don't think so? Remember this, bozo?
Now, the difference between the Island Boys and someone like 6ix9ine is that while 6ix9ine also got famous in part by his over-the-top ridiculous appearance, he actually has a decent portfolio of music to fall back on. People hate on 6ix9ine, but only in the...
I can't lie, when he came out of jail, his hair here, and when he initially came out of jail, his hair was nice.
Beginning. He then becomes well known, people check out his music, and then some become fans after realizing that his songs are actually pretty decent, therefore it's a solid growth strategy. On the contrary, for the Island Boys, people hate on them, then check out their music, only to realize that similar to their TikTok content, it's not worth listening to.
People don't find these guys entertaining. They're not entertained by them, other than, oh hey, these guys look like this, oh that Island Boys video was funny. What's happened since? Nothing. At all. And they keep rinsing and repeating and they're milking it dry. Did you really think you were going to go into this club, do this a cappella Island Boys, and people were going to mess with it?
Without some decent art form to fall back on.
They did that. They went into a club and did that whole freestyle that was just clearly awful. A cappella. you are a lost cause. I am so sorry.
They're unable to convert their haters into fans over time, therefore they either become even more hated or completely irrelevant. The Island Boys discussed this on the Impulsive podcast with Logan Paul, stating that the haters were actually fans because they were following everything that the Island Boys were doing.
They're really fans because really, think about a hater. A hater is watching you sometimes more than a person that loves you. Yeah, and if they're hating on me, it's just because they really love me. Because I see the haters check up on me more than the love. So,
which seemed to be a variation of the "it's better to be known than to be liked" argument. However, there are so many examples of where this doesn't really apply. There are countless YouTubers who have been outed as predators, for example EDP445 and Minilad, who are both very well known, yet receive almost no views as a result of people disliking them so much that the audience goes out of their way not to watch the content. Therefore, the argument is probably better expressed as, you need to have an entertainment form that people remember as being impressive, whilst maintaining somewhat of a likable reputation, which the Island Boys don't really have. People don't think about them in the context.
I can't lie. Just before it moves too far away from it, when they were on the Impulsive podcast, bro, I don't understand how they misinterpreted what George said so bad. The guy was saying, it's good. We're in a good situation where if whatever they're doing doesn't go the plans that the way they're planning it to, which it is, they at least have money to fall back on, and they try to fight him over it, or try to move like try to back their gangster reputation that they think they have, and fight the guy. Like, it was so like, what are you even doing? Like I don't know. Like, it was so
Of unique, edgy artists that put a lot of effort into their music. They think about them in the context of two clowns who are famous for being famous.
Do you think that that's part of what people kind of hold against you as a grudge, is that like your image is crazy and you're sort of famous, but maybe the music isn't necessarily the reason why you guys are so known?
right.
One of the Island Boys would go on to state that the other reason they had so many haters was because of jealousy,
Just hating on me or whatever. And it's just a form of jealousy, either that, because I'm not really doing nothing.
which is just another naive argument often made by narcissistic celebrities who lack self-awareness. Why are you so confident that people want to be in your position? Do you ever consider that maybe there's another reason as to why people hate you besides jealousy? The "everyone is jealous of me" argument displays a lack of critical thinking, personal honesty, and self-awareness, which was highlighted once again when Logan Paul would ask them about why they thought they blew up in the first place.
Why do you think you guys went viral in the first place with the Island Boy rap?
I worked my ass off. It's not even just the Island Boys. It's the fact that
But I said he worked his ass off. If you was really working hard, wouldn't you like you would have to be able to move past the little things? But if you're really working that hard on that freestyle, if you're a rapper and you worked your ass off to get a freestyle talking about you're in a pool, but maybe music isn't your thing. Maybe you should work hard in a nice accounting job.
we went through
I'm sounding like I'm jealous. I'm not jealous.
so many obstacles, it was just bound to happen.
Now, it'd be a cheap shot to say that there was no hard work. I'm sure the Island Boys had to have put some degree of effort into their career before posting that mega viral video. However, as mentioned previously, they didn't blow up because they had been in the studio relentlessly for 10 years straight. They blew up because they were being laughed at.
You have that it factor.
Yes, I'm a star. Yeah, we do. We're the only ones that are talented in
Is it ego? Like he said. Wait, hold on. What did he just say? Let me just see.
Factor.
yes, I'm a star. Yeah, we do. We're the only ones that are talented in singing.
And this is what
That's just egotistical, right? Like saying that they're the only ones talented. If they're the only ones talented, I would hate to be near someone who's untalented.
one of the strangest parts about their whole career.
God.
They've deluded themselves into thinking that they have musical talent as a result of becoming famous.
So basically, when I was locked up, I was probably one of the only people in the dorm that knew how to rap, that knew how to freestyle, but didn't care. I think me as a rapper, my music is underestimated though. Yeah, for sure. I'm a good artist. I can sing, rap, whatever. Versatile. I can make rock music, whatever.
Even going so far as to say this when asked about their future.
What is next for you guys?
We're rappers. We care about music way more important than a lot of things. We try to take over as an artist, singing, rapping, because I can sing, I can rap.
And this when Logan Paul would ask them a similar question.
What's your 5-year plan?
To be always top Billboard in music.
Good God.
Maybe acting if they let me with tattoos acting or something like that.
However, they're confused.
Okay, top Billboard. I've never heard of any of their songs. I remember I looked up one of their songs. The Red 4X guy. I remember looking at his account. He has like 1K our 5K monthly listeners. Like, but it's like they should be worrying more about like if they really want to be taught, like they're not taking into criticism. That's what it is, right? If they were taking into criticism, they'd be able to correct what they're doing wrong, so they could be more likable. But they're just not listening to anything. They already think that they're the best of the best, and nobody can be better than them. So, like, why should they listen to anybody's input? And that's probably why they try to fight this guy, because he was giving them like good input and good knowledge, and then they're just like, that's not what they're thinking. So a disagreement leads to a fight for them, I guess.
The response of always being top of the Billboard in music was certainly lacking in confidence, probably because at the end of the day, they know that with their current image and skill set, the music they do produce could never compete with the top of the Billboard.
Their look doesn't help them at all in terms of music because people just see them as this ridiculous character, and it's just unfortunate for them for the future. Right now, they're probably enjoying it.
For example, when they'd post the official version of their I'm an Island Boy song to YouTube, it's basically impossible to find a single positive comment, despite the video's 13 million plus views. Thank you, Island Boys, you saved my brother. He was paralyzed in a fatal car accident. Luckily, when I played this song, he rose and clicked the sound to mute. Wow, you guys definitely have a hidden talent that should stay hidden. Have this as my alarm clock every morning. Been waking up 30 minutes earlier just to turn it off. Thank you, Island Boys. In addition to this negativity toward their music online, they'd also
let me see that video. Let me see that video. Bro. Let's just take a listen.
I'm gonna be staring at the sun. I'm just full gazing. Island Boys. I'm just island boy. I'm just keep
receive a similar response.
I don't need to hear anymore.
Appearances. For example, they both attended.
This is the video when he was caught lacking. This was it. He was literally caught lacking and then proceeded to just prove that he wasn't in any way any type of gangster.
They'd also receive a similar response during their public appearances. For example, they'd both attend the Jake Paul vs Tyrone Woodley fight, where the entire crowd would try and get them kicked out, stating that they had apparently thrown a shoe at someone, which they never did.
So the Island Boys just showed up. The whole place is booing them. The Island Boys are getting kicked out because they just threw a shoe at someone.
Additionally, in November 2021, they'd be booked to sing at Club Live in Miami, where they'd be booed by the crowd after yet another underwhelming performance, at which point the audience would discover another reason behind why their career wasn't going to last for the long term. They were completely unwilling to take advice from more knowledgeable role models in their field. Going back to the Impulsive podcast, the Island Boys seemed pretty proud that they had paved their own path after Mike would ask them about which rappers they had been inspired by.
What was your inspiration? Like obviously you guys listen to rap music coming up.
I try not to listen to nobody because I feel like it betters my mindset.
Is that why you guys have such a unique sound?
Yeah. We don't listen to rappers. Nowadays, I used to listen to a lot of rappers.
Do you think you should start listening to them again?
No, because you're gonna try to steal their flow. They already made it. I'm not trying to you know what I'm saying? You make it more being yourself. I'm not trying to.
Are you sure?
Brain about being yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys to an extent of not being swayed by other people, but also at the same time, the current winners in the culture act as guardrails and guidelines for what you do with your craft.
Mike is 100% correct here. If they were to copy another artist completely, people will call them out as copycats. However, if they decide to completely ignore the valuable lessons and current trends set by the industry's leading artists and walk their own path without any inspiration from anyone else, they're just going to end up sounding like, well, the Island Boys.
Is that how you end up in a place where you sound like you guys do, which is so drastically different? I wouldn't even call it hip hop. It's not rap, right? What is it?
They don't even really seem to understand what their own genre of music is.
I was trying to go for a more melodic sound. When you keep on
that
rapping
was not melodic.
in the same
cadence,
in the same form, you got no flow. It's the same flow.
Monotone.
Kind of monotone. We go you're very.
And going back to their inability to take advice from others, followers that eventually walk out of the impulsive podcast after George would provide them with what seemed to be some tongue-in-cheek yet useful financial advice.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
If God forbid it doesn't go in your guys' direction, for real, I think you guys take all of your jewelry assets and invest it in something. So you guys will never ever be broke again.
After storming out of the interview, an article would be released by...
Like, literally, there's so much money in jewelry. If they just sell their jewelry, they're gonna have a lot of money. Invest that, make a profit. You have nothing to complain about. You've made money. You made more money than you would have if you kept the jewelry. And they stormed out because of that. Like, what was that? Like, why?
HITC reading George Janko vs. Island Boys net worth compared after podcast feud, which put the Island Boys net worth at $100,000 compared to George Janko's net worth of $600,000. With the Island Boys being so offended by George's basic financial advice and the semi-accurate idea that offensive things are just self-deficiencies that you're yet to address, their emotional response to what George had to say is also a pretty good indication that the Island Boys are probably pretty unwise and insecure when it comes to their financial situation. You know they're also insecure about their future if they flip out on a simple question like that. George didn't say anything offensive. The world is laughing at these boys, not with them. I refuse to believe there's people this insecure when it comes to money in this world, lol. This was also the opinion held by a financial YouTuber named Graham Stephen.
This sort of confidence and arrogance, I do think would end up getting in the way. Financial advice is like not something you get offended about. I mean, there's nothing in there that should have been offensive.
Graham also reiterated,
like, he wasn't calling them bro. He was literally saying that they obviously have a lot of money if they're spending amount into jewelry while still being able to provide the essentials for themselves, and they get offended. That is crazy.
What was said earlier about the unlikely nature of their career lasting for the long term.
A career like this could last you anywhere from a few months to a few years. We've seen so many people come up like this where they blow up big and then all of a sudden they do nothing. They can't carry that momentum. And for this right now, they're good for going viral. But I'm not sure if that could be sustained or if that could be translated into a successful career long term.
Before going on to once again discuss how George was probably making just as much money as the Island Boys.
I don't see anything here that would say George is making less money than the Island Boys. If anything, he could be making the same, if not more.
However, when this point will be put against the Island Boys on TikTok, they seem to share a differing opinion.
I'm gonna say it respectfully in the most humble way as possible. I doubt he's making any new money like how Island Boys are. We are successful and happy in life.
Which would be followed by another TikTok, once again displaying their inability to take the advice of others and their desire to walk their path of success alone.
But if someone's talking about my financials, I don't want to hear it. You're not the one that's making me millions of dollars. I made millions of dollars myself. You know what I'm saying?
I highly doubt that they're millionaires. I highly doubt it. Like, where would they be possibly? Where in any way would they have been making that money? 13 million view video on YouTube, couple million views on TikTok, barely any views on Spotify. Our monthly listeners, if they have a YouTube channel, I've never seen it. Like, where would they be making that money from? They're hardly doing ads because they're jokes. Like, where would they be making those millions from? They can't be.
I'm saying it's just me doing it myself
unless they're obviously working with brands behind the scene that I just don't know about.
alone, you dig?
Overall, the reason behind why the Island Boys are already on their way out was summarized simply and obviously in a comment made by a YouTuber called Hello Yassine.
It's short-term hustling, and we've seen this exact same quote-unquote business model, I guess you could call it, being done, but this doesn't last.
And just like that, the video has concluded. Like, I feel like the video ended prematurely. Like, overall, I just don't think they blew up. They were getting 9 million views average per month. If they were getting that many per month, why would you keep showing this like arrogant aura, giving this arrogant persona off? Like, why wouldn't you just like try to do better yourself instead of reacting to all of these jokey comments about yourself? Like, obviously you've done something to get people to be like that. Why not just ignore it obviously there's no changing the past. Why not ignore it and try to do the next big thing for yourself? They just let it go past them. They didn't handle while they were in the spotlight. They didn't handle the spotlight well, and now that they're like out of it, I haven't heard of them since the freestyle, or since the podcast actually. Now that they're out of it, like, the only question is like, could they do something to get back into spotlight? And obviously they could, but it wouldn't. I doubt it would be anywhere near what it was when they made that freestyle, because I feel like at this point not a lot of people like them as much, like just off of like how they were moving. They were moving just like in such a weird like type of way. You get me? Like I never liked them at all. Clearly. Clearly. Yeah, that was a short video, I feel like. Yeah, but that's it for this one, I think. Might have to do the ninja one next.